All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Third Player Optional Podcast. It's a blast from the past, man. The original duo.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I am joined by SoyTortuga for the first time in a long time, and it's just us two.
Even wilder, it's actually like a even bigger blast from the past once you realize that you're hosting instead of me.
Right? This is the original setup. The original setup. Which also probably means we're going to have more of the same old shit keep happening. So we're just going to brace everybody for that.
Maybe. I don't know. I think we've got some... We've learned.
No, I'm talking about my technical issues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about that shit. No, I feel we have both grown in our time as podcast hosts. Such as that other bullshit won't be happening there as much. How you been, man?
I've been alive.
Alive.
I'm still breathing.
Sounds like a man who's overworked and
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much you saw of my conversation in our group chat, but
a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's just I wish I knew my worth before all
Dude,
this.
Get in line.
I mean, yeah, that's fair, but like, I don't know.
We'll get our place in the room.
Yeah, after this contract's over and they hire me on full time, then I get all of what I'm worth.
But guys, again, thanks for joining us. We got a few interesting things to talk about. I feel conflicted because I kind of want to get this sad bit out of the way in regards to a game that we both enjoy.
I actually think I have. It's going to be a twofer.
Twofer?
Yes, because of what it
well,
leads to, like something like. Okay, I can't really explain it well until like we actually talk about it. So.
Well, let's jump into it. Like, what do you got?
Okay, so if you all know anything about myself, Torn, and Jay, mostly myself and Torn, and Jay, whenever we can get him to play with us, we really enjoyed a game for a while called Worlds Adrift. Basically, it's Sky Pirates with hook shot mechanics, kind of like Spider-Man. You just hook onto something and then you just swing around.
Like, this game got me excited for Spider-Man PS4. Like this.
Yeah, this is what I use to train myself to get ready. It really is. Like, and like, the art style was very good, and I use the past tense term on purpose because I think sometime this week, like a couple days ago, Bosa, I want to get the full name right, Bosa Studios. I don't know what else they made. I think they made I Am Bread and Surgeon Simulator. um, have announced that Worlds Adrift is coming to an end, and it's not like other games that game companies will stop working on. They are completely shutting it down. They are shutting down the servers. So after what they are saying is the end of the world event, you will no longer be able to play Worlds Drift ever.
Fucked up.
Yeah,
Like on a number of levels. Like, and on top, like I think top of my list with that. I mean, I guess I kind of appreciate them doing this, but an end of the world event, then that end event is like Dunzo.
Yeah, it's an actual end of the world event.
Like, has that? Let's think about that in gaming history for a minute. Like, has that ever happened before?
I'm sure it has, but like, I think this is the first time we've ever interacted with it. Like, I think there have been in other MMOs when like the company's is just so far in the hole and the game is absolutely no longer profitable. They just like pull the plug, and there's the last few holdouts that are like, usually what happens is like they just slowly burn out. Like they don't have like an end of the world sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like an event.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is like like an actual like this is the end of the world as we know it, and then like game done.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen that. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can correct me in the comments. I won't read them. But I'd actually like to read a bit of the announcement. I'm just going to skip around to the key bits. The end of Worlds Adrift. At Bosa Studios, we love taking risks and making stuff that no one dares to do in order to create great original experiences for players. Which I will say, Worlds Adrift was unlike any other game I had played before.
Same.
Like it had mechanics that were similar, but just the fact that you could build from the ground up. Like you could argue that it's similar to Guns of Icarus, but only like not even in just gameplay.
Yeah,
like
because
it's in the same vein, but like it's nowhere near the same.
Well, honestly, I don't think I would even put Guns of Icarus in the same vein, unless going so vague as to be like they both had airships.
Yeah, it's just an airship.
Like the similarities end at airships.
Yeah. Worlds Adrift was an ambitious undertaking for us, a community-crafted MMO built on freedom and player agency with multiplayer physics set in a huge world. We are proud of what we achieved with the game since development began 5 years ago out of a humble game jam. That's something I actually didn't know. This MMO about exploring floating islands that were actually made by the community and put it into the actual game by the developers was started as a humble game jam. You do know what those are, right?
Like vaguely.
They're a humble game jam is basically a live stream that is set for X number of hours or X number of days, and a development team will make a quick game out of it.
Wow.
So not only did it start as hey, we're going to beat the clock and build you an MMO, but it's a damn good one, honestly. If that's its beginnings.
For real, like that's astonishing. That like people should be genuinely heartbroken at the fact that this thing is like coming to a close. And who knows, maybe you could.
I have a lot of things to tack onto this.
I mean, again, I gotta be optimistic.
I cannot, based off what Bosa Studios has said about Worlds Adrift. What does the end of Worlds Adrift mean for its community? Bosa Studios will be continuing as a developer and publisher of games, but Worlds Adrift is coming to a close. To provide a special experience in the game's final months, all the cosmetic items in the in-game shop will be given out to every player. Additionally, Worlds Adrift founder captains will receive a free copy of Surgeon Simulator and I Am Bread. As a thanks for joining this journey and to give a glimpse into the kinds of experiences we're looking to create going forward, Founder captains' names will also be immortalized on the game's website, which will remain live as a tribute to the world we've built together. Worlds Adrift will not be sailing quietly into the night. We will host an End of the World event, which will be live streamed on Twitch and will feature an AMA with the team. The exact date and details of the event will be announced here and on our other community channels. We know you will have questions, so please look at our extensive Q&A below. There are literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's gotten longer. Okay. If you can't find the answer to your question here, then please contact us. We've really appreciated all your feedback on Worlds Adrift throughout development, and we love your ongoing support with our unannounced titles. Our Bosa Studios Creator Club is a group where like-minded and also not so like-minded individuals help us make the best games we can through surveys, playtests, and more. Anyone can join the Creator Club, and you can find more details on how to do so here. Thank you all for joining us on this incredible journey. And then they have like a Q&A, which is literally just nails in the coffin. Like, it's tongue-in-cheek saying like, yeah, it's over. It's like there's nothing that's going to happen that will allow us to continue or allow you to continue playing this game. And then there's like a short answer as to why. Why is Worlds Adrift shutting down? Making such an ambitious game was always going to be a challenge, and we love the game we built together with our community. However, Worlds Adrift has not captured the imagination of as many people as it needed to make it commercially viable.
Which is unfortunately true.
Yes. I'll be right back.
So, while he's out to get food, yeah, this kind of just feels like we read a freaking video game eulogy there. Just with that, but I guess on like a more positive note, there is a game I'll bring this up again when he gets back, that has kind of had its surgence. Like, it's surging in the gaming community right now. It's just a new game, not as ambitious per se as Worlds Adrift, but still yet a game that's pretty good, a game that's a lot better than I personally thought it was going to be, and that's Dauntless, which a lot of people initially called like the cheap Monster Hunter clone, and then they actually played it and they're like, wow, it's actually a really good game, has really good mechanics. The monsters are great. They're called behemoths. The behemoths are great. The artwork is great. It has seasonal progression events, kind of like the whole, again, I keep describing Fortnite event. But we see the opposite thing happening, which is also really good. Because I see a lot of streamers, big and small, playing it now, and and I think it's a real delight to see. Talk about Dauntless.
Oh, yeah.
Like swinging the pendulum in the complete opposite direction, and how this game is starting to come into its own with a lot of people now.
Well, the thing is that there was a point in time when there were some larger people getting eyes on Worlds Adrift, and even with that, like it shot into relevance and then shot right back out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hopeful that Dauntless won't be like that.
Yeah, and I'm real hopeful too. Well, I think what really helped it a lot, is it did its console release, and on top of that, it's crossplay.
Yeah.
Like across everything, which is brilliant because it's PvE co-op anyway. So why wouldn't you?
I don't know. Not to just like jam it in reverse, but there's still topics.
I didn't have the facts, so I wanted to talk about something while you were gone. Continue.
Yeah. When is Worlds Adrift shutting down? July 2019. What's happening with the game until then? You'll be able to play as normal, but we've made a few changes to help players get the most out of their game during these final months. All the cosmetic items, basically, yada yada yada. What happens to my character stuff? All characters, ships, and items will no longer be accessible after our end of the world event in July. Can I get a refund? You are eligible for a refund if you have purchased Worlds Adrift on the Steam store between the dates of April 29th, 2019, and this announcement on May 29th, 2019.
Just, that's about as fair as they can do.
Yeah, I get that, but like, it is kind of shitty.
No, it's very shitty. It absolutely is. But on that same note, the money that they had brought in from previous sales in that is more than likely just not available anymore, and so they had to triage to pick here's the biggest crowd that we can offer the service to, or at least within this span of time.
Here is another caveat, which is good for people who have sunk more money into Worlds Adrift. I purchased something for the Worlds Adrift item store. Can I get a refund for it? All in-game purchases made since the store launched in Update 29 will be refunded. You will retain access to your purchases until Worlds Adrift closes.
See, now that's, again, they're doing absolutely the best they can with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, though.
Another caveat is, can I still use the Island Creator? The Worlds Adrift Island Creator will remain live, but it will no longer be possible for players to bring their creations into the game. You said founders are getting stuff. What am I getting? All founders will receive a copy of Iron Bread and Surgeon Simulator on Steam. In addition, the Worlds Adrift website will remain live with a list of founder captains' names as a digital monument to the world we built together. What was your name on Worlds Adrift? Were you a founder?
I don't remember if I was or not. I don't think I was. I think I just bought the regular.
So it's just me and Torn.
Of our friends group, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of cool to see, like, our names on there, but I would honestly rather have the game.
Yeah, I mean, for real. I mean, come on.
Like, we talked about it briefly yesterday, but, like, Worlds of Drift is one of my weird, random itches, and I'll randomly come back to it every once in a while. Yeah. But the thing, the follow-up I wanted to do for this is kind of talk about what happened on their Twitter as well, because they were very active today in answering a lot of things. Okay, so I'm just going to read a couple responses, and basically the Worlds Adrift Twitter has been incredibly active, answering most of the most liked stuff on Twitter to continue the Q&A. At Karaglitch said, "G-Diet, guys, I've seen many MMOs I've enjoyed go, but this one especially hurts. Worlds Adrift is something special. It may be completely useless to ask, but is there a way you can release the files to either allow a standalone builder?"
I saw this reply earlier.
"Thanks for your heartfelt message. Unlike our other games, Worlds Adrift Network is built on top of Spatial OS, a proprietary tech. Worlds does not run without it, nor can it be hosted outside of Spatial OS's infrastructure."
Yep.
And that's really the main reason that they've basically said, even if we wanted to,
you can't. It's the limitation of the technology
well, not even that. It's like, even if we wanted to, we can't sell it to someone else.
Yep.
And we can't, and someone else can't. All that. And it's sad. Like most of the studios, please tell Please sell the game so someone else can continue development. Thanks for your suggestion. If we believe there was a way to keep the game running even while making a small loss, we would do so. For a third-party company to run Worlds, they would need to make a profit or at least break even. Unfortunately, that's not the state the game is in.
Yep.
And like I don't think we should be surprised as players because of what they did. I think a couple months ago. Basically, at the time it was guised as a thank you, but now I think it takes on a whole other meaning now that it's ending. A couple months ago, they gave a free copy to every founders.
Yeah, it seems a little hollow at this point.
No, like a last-ditch effort. Maybe to like revitalize, like, hey, my friend didn't feel like buying this, so we couldn't ever play together. Now we can, and maybe at that point, we give a reason to continue playing it. But
speaking of, I just seen for tonight's show. That caught me off. I have missed you on this show, by the way.
Good. I'm a very hard thing to replace.
You are.
Corn was your closest option. Like that's.
I would damn well say near impossible.
But the thing I wanted to talk about because of this, like the thoughts that have been forming is, hold on, I got to make sure before I start spouting off dumb BS.
Yeah, that would be beneficial to get our facts checked and such.
Okay, yeah, I'm right. Are early access games killing the gaming PC market?
And what's this article lean in favor of?
It's one of those articles where you have draw your own conclusions from it. But it's my opinion that it is. Just based off of how the early access system works and the fact that there are games that, like, the whole idea of early access is only for like alphas and betas. And since early access has come out, the definition of what is an alpha, what is a beta in regards to a new game has changed drastically. Like, a lot of games can operate underneath the banner of, oh, we're in beta, where in all actuality, it's basically the game. They just haven't full released it yet, for whatever reason. And someone went through the games that were put on early access on Steam in the first year, way back in 2013. There were 37 games put on that year. Guess how many of those managed to get out of early access?
I would say less than 10.
Little low there. It's
really
like 12. But still, out of 37 games
that's
that
still
have
pretty
been
poor
in beta for 6 years?
Yeah. That's still pretty
ridiculous.
Poor. That's pretty poor, yeah.
Yeah.
But, funny enough, you bring up this article. Like, what's the date on this particular article? Is early access killing PC market?
It's actually a Reddit from 2 years ago.
Okay. So, this is not the first time that this particular subject matter has been brought up on Tpop specifically. Like, we have talked about this off and on. Not often, but enough to where it's like, most of the time it's, I know once it was directly pertaining to Fortnite. and then other games, the early access nature. And I know we talked about it as friends for years. Since 2013. I can't possibly imagine how many times we've talked about this. Our experience with Ark, for example, how long that game was in early access. And it's just, I'm actually surprised that nobody has that people, again, I could be wrong. Maybe the attempt has been made, but I haven't heard about it to where people are like, no, like this is where the lines need to be drawn. And again, maybe individuals have, but I haven't heard about it. It's just always kind of just been, it's this elephant in the room that nobody really wants to talk about.
Yeah, basically. Like, there's several people that are high up in the gaming community that talk about early access games and how they're like basically a scam. They all came around following a specific game. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. It's something one of our friends is obsessed with right now.
Really?
Yeah. That game was in beta for like a solid a good while. And there was literally no difference between the end of the beta and the full game. Like, all it was like, hey, the game we had a convention, so we're gonna flip the switch, and we're gonna.
I knew it was in beta forever, but or I guess I knew it was in beta for a while. I guess really, I didn't really track it much in its early days, and like I remember the first time that we all played that, and
yeah,
you know, I wasn't as taken with it at the time. And so I just like, whatever. And then the next thing I know, several years later, it's just like, oh, hey, it's just like, people are acting like it's this whole new big thing. Like, how did this even happen? Yeah, that's another example of it.
I'm just checking to see.
I think, as far, I don't like it when people make accusations of things without providing a solution. So I'm just sitting here just kind of pondering of in what direction a solution can go. And if a game is in early access, then it needs, in my opinion, we need to provide a set list of here's the things to, here are the things that while the game is in early access. And then here's the list of things that we will get once the game is full release. This is the stuff that you can expect. And then, if it's a game such as Fortnite, as an example, a game which is in constant development, basically, in terms of the multiplayer season, all this other stuff that they do. I don't understand. Again, we'll just use Fortnite just as the example of what possible justification they could have by still calling that game early access. I don't know what, because it still is, right? I'm not just I'm not foot and mouth. It's still.
Due to the nature of how Fortnite runs as a game and as a developer, it will always be in beta.
To me, that there are games
by definition, it technically falls under the beta umbrella because it's constantly updated. That's the main issue with the definition of a beta and what allows it to stay in early access.
So, from a development standpoint, every season, they're starting to do these new themes and stuff, and changing up the island, doing all this other stuff. But updates like that don't happen in their week to week. Okay, that's the changing of the challenges. and all that other checkmark stuff. Like, am I still on the right track?
Kinda.
So, what details there am I missing as far as like their week to week, like that you know of? So to me, you know, they're no different in that regard. They're no different than daily quests in any MMO.
Mm-hmm.
And their seasons can change. But, you know, Overwatch is a game, which Overwatch is not the best example to compare this to right now, but it's the only one I got in terms of the special season events and all this other stuff. You know, changes to the development are made there. Granted, most of it is cosmetics. You every so often get some new game modes. So there's the change in development, the balancing of the different characters and the abilities and all this other stuff. So I guess it's a better thought, you know, versus, you know, Fortnite, you don't have abilities to balance, but you do have guns to balance. You have guns, weapons, vehicles, you know, all that math that's got to go in. You know, you got to tweak that anyway, you know, so like I don't.
The thing is, literally every other, like, largely popular battle royale game has been fully released.
Yeah, it's full. Yeah.
So
here's the business side of things that I never really bothered to think about really until just now. Is what is the benefit to the company to declare it still early access? Like, I would imagine that there are some things that you can get away with in early access versus something that is full release.
bugs.
Yeah. That's kind of...
There's more leeway in that, but like...
That's kind of where my...
Bethesda.
Well, I think that's more under preparedness rather than, we'll just call it general incompetence. But it just, I don't know. That is kind of where my head was at. And I was kind of hoping that you'd give me another thing other than just my spiteful opinion of, yeah, it's just, you know, it gives them the excuse to delay changes.
Yeah, basically it does. The thing that get me is that there are two main things I think are killing the gaming industry and making it something that's making it harder for good games to be released and be popular. And that is early access. Like, I don't think everything needs a fucking beta. And pre-release. Like pre-purchases, yeah. Like, used to, it had a place in gaming, like pre-ordering your game and going into like GameStop at midnight and hanging out, like having a community was great. Like, I used to go to those midnight releases I went for Skyrim, went for a couple Pokemon games, and like all this other stuff, and it was just like a massive crowd.
Yeah. Hanging
out, like exchanging information, like starting up the Pokemon games at the same time, choosing our starters, hanging out and all that.
Our GameStop, when the pre-release for Injustice came out?
Nope.
They had freaking 2 consoles set up, like with matches going in the store, like for the entire day, basically.
That's cool.
But yeah, I see what you're saying there.
But now, I just can't like get over the whole thing with No Man's Sky.
Which kind of brings me to my point. I will somewhat defend pre-ordering in terms of the idea of it, provided that your product that I'm pre-buying before the release date is worth the $60 price tag.
Yeah, I agree.
And unfortunately, that is not always the case. That is become, dare I say, in the past couple years, rarely the case that it's actually worth anything. I mean, some games, had I chose to pre-order them, I would have been very happy with my decision to pre-order it. Okay, circling back to Spider-Man real quick, or Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been very happy to preview that, knowing that that is the quality that I have received. But then you have this cornucopia of these failed efforts that we won't go into because this is a rabbit hole conversation. Is that?
Excuse me.
Yeah, there is
I really
that.
wanted that game to be good.
Oh my god, I don't want to talk.
The concept is there.
It
Hopefully
is.
someone else picks it up and runs with it.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't want to. Anyway, based off that, I actually thought rather than pre-purchasing, that you were going to say paid DLC.
Mm-mm.
I believe that would be one of Torn's strongest arguments.
Day 1 DLC, yeah.
Okay, fair. But
If,
like
okay. Day 1 patches. Anything that happens on the first day that could be in the game included. Like there's just no sense in it, in my opinion.
yeah. But so you think? So I guess as an example, because a lot of people really didn't like this, but back when Mass Effect was good, so we're talking Mass Effect 2. The additional chapters that they added, how they did it. I don't know how much you played of it, but there were several chapters that were added that were really good. I mean, they added a lot to it. It tied into the main story of the game real well. And so I guess that's probably, like, for me, why Mass Effect's probably not the best example to be brought up with this. But, you know, again, it goes back to if it should have already been in the game, there's no reason for anybody to pay any extra for it.
Or shipping out a unfinished, unpolished game.
Yeah, for the sake of, you know,
gotta meet a deadline.
You know, see Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's seeing signs of life. Game development world.
Okay.
A new Mass Effect project. Before that happens, though, there'll be a new Dragon Age.
Slightly interested.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Like I'm actually a lot more interested if I'm being honest, but we'll see how it pans out. Also, and speaking of the game development, I want to just put a drop in the rumor well real quick. I don't know if you heard anything about this. I just kind of heard about it randomly. So I'm chatting with people in the PBD Discord, and you know, we were talking about the remasters. Like, some guy was saying he had never played the Spyro games, like, ever. That's like the old ones or the remasters. Yeah, I'm like, dude, like, remasters, perfect opportunity to get into that because these are great games. Mm-hmm. And they just began this long conversation of, wow, what other games would you like to see remastered? And then the subject of what is it? What?
I have an answer for that.
What's your answer?
The original PS2 Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. I should have known. Yeah, I know. Well, dude, I wanted, you know,
the Jack series,
an actual remaster.
Yeah, not just a re-release.
I'm one of the schmucks that bought that. I have no regrets. I still had fun playing it.
Yeah.
Still. I did feel kind of I kind of felt like a had lad at the
thing
buying that.
Is though about that whole thing is it will never happen for Ratchet and Clank because of what happened. Like, ever since they rebooted it, like, that was the moment that every, like, old school Ratchet and Clank fan knew. So that means they're never going to have a remaster, will they? No.
Yep.
Or apparently a re-release. So that's fun.
So, but somebody else threw this in there and said that this was a rumor that they had heard, and that it was floating around on Reddit somewhere. That, in addition, in 2019, there is going to be a animated series of another really fun game. And then apparently, upon announcement of this animated series, sometime in 2019, whatever that may be, like last date I found was October, that you would see the announcement for the remastered series of its video game. That series is Sly Cooper.
I would
Yeah.
love that.
I love the shit out of that. Like this happened yesterday. Like upon talking to this person while still chatting in the Discord, I had Discord up on the screen. I had Google and every other thing searched up on this screen. I mean, I'm trying to find. Like, there was a Sly Cooper movie in the works at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never knew this. I watched the trailer for it. I'm like, this would have been freaking great. But no, they had to freaking kill it. I was like, whatever. What's up, Dragon? So it was just, ugh. But yeah, so apparently, several sources are saying that, the Sly Cooper series is still a thing that's like going to happen, I guess. Like, they haven't canceled it yet. And so it'll be interesting to see if they time it with an announcement of a rematch.
That would definitely be interesting. Like, Sly Cooper is definitely that series is kind of like the third wheel of the whole like Ratchet and Clank / Jack and Daxter hype train.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, it was a very good game, very good concept, very good gameplay, amazing. But like, for whatever reason, like, I never heard anyone talk about it until like I played it.
Like,
I'm just like, bruh, this raccoon game, bruh, please.
Well, like, and there was a 2 and a 3. Like, there were 3 games to this series. And another thing that makes me really sad is I didn't get to play the other 2. I know, dude. I never got to. So, which is why I kind of need this remastered thing to be true.
Yeah, you do.
Like, I really need this to be true. Like, so bad. We'll see.
Like,
but
yeah, is good. Like, the first game was good.
Like, it made its splash. Like, Sly Cooper, Thievius Raccoonus, one of my favorite games to this day from the PS2 day. Like, one of my favorite games. Like,
yeah, 2 and 3 were like the best. Like, Thievius Raccoonus was okay. Well, correction. Apparently 98% of people like this game.
What, Thievius Raccoonus?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a good game.
And then Sly 3 also got 98%. Like, all 3 games were really good.
Yeah, and they were consistently good.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time you had a game series that was that consistently good?
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, or Jack.
And then they just killed it. No, I can't say Jack anymore because of fucking combat racing.
I don't acknowledge combat racing.
It is released as part of the package.
I don't care. It is. Like, it has seen 0 gameplay time. We'll continue to see 0 gameplay time on my PS4 from that package.
Yep.
Like, for spite, for principle, whatever you want to call it, like, it will never see the light of day on my console. That is just facts of life.
I just want to meet the dude who's like, hey, let's take the worst mechanic from Jack 3 and make a game based entirely around it.
I had fun with the cars in Jack 3.
Yeah, because there was a space in between them, in between each mission, that made it so that you didn't realize how shit it was.
Well, I had a lot of fun with the hopper one.
I know, I get that, but like, if that was literally your only gameplay in Jack 3?
No, it would be horrible.
Yeah.
It would be absolutely horrible. Like, the handling on those vehicles was utter garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the best handling one is just the one that handled slightly less bad than the rest of them. And it's the first actual vehicle you get your hands on that has guns. Like, it's the very first one, which is why they make you fight the final boss in that one. the first stage of the final boss in that one.
Actually, they didn't have any game time.
No, Jak 3. Jak 3's final boss.
I never beat Jak 3.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. I've seen you beat it like multiple times. So
I'm a little shook right now. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just because of the time that I had it. Like it's the same. Like it took me several years to beat Ratchet and Clank, just because the game was too hard for me to really be able to complete until I came back around. I was like, holy shit, this game is so fucking easy.
Yeah, and this was around the same time, if I remember correctly, you were going for speedrun record.
Yeah, so when I was playing Jak and Daxter.
Jak and Daxter's, yeah.
Oh yeah, Jak and Daxter. I was beating Jak and Daxter in like an hour 10.
I can't sit through Jak and Daxter for an hour. Like I beat it once. I mean, 100% completed it, and I don't think I ever touched it again.
Yeah, there's no replayability.
There's really not. Like, it's a fun little game, but you know, once maybe twice in Blue Moon. Jak 2, Jak 3 on the other hand, you get to go around and shoot shit and turn it to Dark Jak, and then Jak 3 you get Light Jak.
You get to have the GTA experience in the Jak game.
It's open world, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like the Metalhead War, absolutely. A lot of fun. Anyway, so yeah. Sly Cooper, potentially in the rumored to be in the works somewhere, somehow. You now know what I know as far as that. In chat, now know that.
Nice.
So what else, man? Game that you probably don't really care much about, but I'll mention this while you're thinking of the next topic. Elder Scrolls Online. Like,
wow, you're right.
Yeah, I know. Drop a bit. I talked about this, I think, last Tpop that was held, as far as the new expansion with his Elsewhere, and the turn of like dragons in Tamriel. It's just kind of one of these things that really just kind of shocked me. It's kind of like Dauntless, I guess, in its own. Is maintaining itself to be a lot more relevant originally started out to be. Whereas on kind of a different kind of note on that spectrum, like, have you been watching any of these streamers playing Classic WoW in the beta? Nope. Have you seen the numbers that WoW is pulling now?
Nope.
Like, WoW is pulling like some pretty good sized numbers, and I went in and like kind of scrolled through the stream page to see what was going on, and literally like the first 20 rows are Classic WoW, Classic WoW, Classic WoW, Classic WoW, Classic WoW, Classic WoW, like all in Classic. Like the hype for that game that a lot of people were expressing turns out was not fake. People did miss Classic that damn much.
They did.
I never played full-fledged Classic. I got into WoW right as it was like it was the early Burning Crusade days. So some of the mechanics were updated. You still couldn't get mounts anymore. And then the next time I got into it, you could get mounts at level 20. Everything it told you where everything was as far as the quests go, and all this other stuff. And the fact that they went back to the classic mechanics of, no, we're not telling you shit unless you read it. Like, here's your info, go find it. So if it's somewhere in the southern region of this area, then it's gonna be somewhere in the southern region of the area, rather than, oh, it's in this highlighted section right here. Like, Torn has...
Thank you for helping me realize that I cannot survive Classic WoW.
Yeah, dude, I have been watching people play this, and I am like super
literally
excited.
Says, like, my ADD literally says, hey, you know this highlighted area is where you're supposed to be at, man. I'm like, Yeah, but fishing.
Right?
But skinny.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, but there's a battle pet over here. I like fake Pokemon too.
In battle pets.
Oh.
Very happy. Like,
I just love all the classic like stories.
the classic that honestly, as far as the mechanics go and all this other stuff, that is one of the things that I'm the most excited about playing this game myself. Just going back and reliving the world in its vanilla state.
I'm not talking about like what they programmed. I'm talking about what people fucking did.
Oh yeah, solo clears, exploits, pet bombs, like all that shit.
Kiting Killjane to Stormwind.
Yeah, there's that. That happened multiple times.
I just want to I just would love. You're never going to see the same experience again. But my buddy started playing WoW very early on, and he was walking around Stormwind in his very low-level character, and he just looks out on the horizon, and he just sees, what the fuck is that? It's just big-ass dude walking through Stormwind, chasing people.
Was it Killjane? It wasn't Killjane. It was like another boss. It was a world boss. It was a Dreadlord world boss. I know that much. I don't think it was Kil'jaeden, though.
It was.
Was it Kil'jaeden?
Yeah.
What? Huh.
Yeah. He says he still can't do whatever dungeon or raid that Kil'jaeden is in because it terrifies him.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, though. Kil'jaeden's appearing in a raid. I don't have to look it up at some point. But the only raid that I know of Kil'jaeden actually making an appearance in was Tomb of Sargeras in Legion. I don't know if there's... I love how we're both right now.
Yeah.
See. Always Legion. I don't know, but I know it's a Dreadlord looking type boss. I know exactly what you're talking about because people would kite this thing, Stormwind, legitimately all the time. And then there was another one. I don't remember which. I want to say it was a rogue, but you could essentially challenge a guy to a duel, right? And there was an ability that you could proc, and as long as you kept procking it before the refresh was over, it would keep stacking, and you can essentially one-shot crit this world boss. It got patched almost immediately. But the fact that this used to exist makes me so happy. There was that kind of ridiculous numbers being thrown around. And then, of course, the pet bombs. Did you hear about those?
No.
So what a pet bomb was is I forget the raid that it was in. I want to say it was in Molten Core. Could be Black Fathom. It's one of the two. There was a boss that if you were a hunter and your pet got leached with this parasite, it essentially was going to blow up and it was going to nuke the party.
Jesus.
So what you could do was unsummon the pet, which takes it back to the capital city that you're from. And kaboom!
That's kind of amazing.
And so in the chat, apparently, you would just see in all caps, pet bomb, pet bomb, pet bomb.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. I never personally seen this, but I've seen a whole bunch of stuff about the classic WoW stories. That's by far one of my favorite ones. By far. One of my favorite ones. So yeah. Classic WoW. bringing back all the nostalgia. I was watching a guy playing a Night Elf Warrior, and that's where the nostalgia really hit me. That's my first ever WoW character ever. Night Elf Warrior. And you're just seeing him in the Arathi Highlands, level 30. He's got a bunch of level 30 gear on. He maybe has 2 blue pieces to his name. All this other stuff. Campbell Zoop, thank you very much for the follow, man. And for the host as well. Thank you so much. How are you? Welcome to Har HQ. So, well, cool. That's all I got on WoW right now. Like, I hope you.
Yes,
right,
there were actually a few announcements today. Just games in general. Death Stranding
has a release date.
Yeah,
Has a freaking release date. It only took how long?
forever.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wow. Like, people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, the game's real now."
Mm-hmm.
Was it? Maybe that's the one that was in October 2019, and I'm just full of shit on this. Like, that's not October. When is that?
November 8th.
November. Okay. November.
What else? Oh fuck.
I know Cyberpunk's gonna make another appearance.
Marvel's
E3.
Avengers video game to be revealed at E3.
Oh boy.
Dev's gonna ruin his underwear.
Oh jeez, dude. Can you? I mean, who's not excited? Anybody who's
Produced by Marvel, Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, and Square Enix. If that is not the dream team of video game development
for Marvel specifically.
Yeah, Marvel was just like, "Hey, yo, guys, here we go. Let's do this."
Like, oh my gosh, man. Like, I'm excited for the freaking Marvel Ultimate Alliance game.
You know,
Like, I've never played a single one of these. And I'm just like, wow, let's do that. And then the freaking Avengers game gets announced. I'm like, hang on.
I'm pretty sure the only reason you like it is because it's a Marvel Diablo clone.
Don't judge me. It does look fun, though. Like, come on.
Yeah. Also, this happened a couple days ago.
Uh-oh.
A new Pokemon game.
What is it?
Pokemon Sleep.
You're lying. Pokemon Sleep?
Pokemon Sleep aims to turn sleeping into entertainment by having a player's time spent sleeping and time they wake up affect the game.
I love it how one of these pictures for this search result is Pikachu with a shocked face. Like, that's fitting.
Yeah.
That's really...
Like
even Pikachu knows that that's a bad idea. Like, come on.
They haven't given much more information beyond like, hey yo, in Pokemon Go, you now find sleeping Snorlaxes. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make me want to get a Pokemon app for sleeping. Like, what? Oh, what? Are you high? How do you win? You sleep. Well, fuck. Every millennial is gonna fucking win this game.
Real fucking talk. Good, bro?
Yeah, I say the tough and breaking. Proud of myself.
Oh, man.
My girlfriend won't murder me when she gets back home.
Yep. But in other news, E3 related.
I got more Pokemon news.
There's more?
Yeah, Detective Pikachu is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Oh. News made only better if Deadpool is the voice of Pikachu still.
Ryan Reynolds, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be really funny though, actually. And then you have to wonder to yourself how many appearances at E3 Cyberpunk is going to make before A, it runs out of new shit to show, B, we actually get a release date for it.
Neither.
Don't think. I like to hope. Oh, yeah. What?
What?
Okay, so apparently, in June 2019,
What?
the release date for Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh.
Huh.
There's also another leak that has people thinking.
Oh, here we go. Release date rumors. Got down, so maybe.
Ahead of E3 2019, leaks suggests Ubisoft will announce a new roller derby game.
Okay.
Yep.
Can't begin to say how much I don't care about that. Art has got updated.
Spyro Reignited trilogy may be coming to PC. You're not even listening to me anymore.
Like on the one. I mean, hey, that would be Spyro would be so weird to play on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't. There are just games that just feel right on console. There are games that feel right on PC, and sometimes the other is not true. Opinion about a lot of games. I guess Spyro would definitely be one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
I as a PC owner, just really PC looking at that. I don't think I'd be excited for that. Whereas granted, I have a console bias view, but still.
Oh, in semi-gaming news, did you see where Sonic the Hedgehog redesigned and delayed the release date?
Boy, talk about things I really couldn't care less about.
Wow.
No, I
Carrey.
I don't care.
Jim Carrey is a treasure.
Like, I'm sorry, he is, but I'm sorry, I just can't. I gotta actively work to get that damn image of that hedgehog out of my head.
They're fixing it though.
They better do a hell of a lot. You know, because because the only way I see that fixing anything, the only way I see a fix happening is burn it down, start again.
Wow.
I'm not the only one who thinks this. I go out on a limb here.
Oh my god, here we go. You got a good one. I got a lively one for you.
A lively one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I still
guess what game has been in development for 5 years?
I still dread it when you say things like it's a lively one, and this is like the first time you and me have been on the show forever in a while. You just know that and appreciate it probably. What game has been in development for 5 years?
Dead Island 2.
I seen an article and it was like apparently it's still alive. That was the title of the article.
It is not canceled yet. Someone has not informed people that the game is done.
Dude, I remember you first seen the trailer for that game. It was that jogger guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You see shit just going wrong all around him. Like, you see that trailer, there's zero gameplay to my knowledge that has ever been released. And then every so often that trailer pops back out. And then you don't ever see or hear from it ever again.
Yeah. Also, be right back.
Like, guys, you should know, like, that is one of the things that really, as far as gaming news, I wasn't the biggest Dead Island fan, but the fact that you see this trailer, right? Like, Dead Island 2, like, how many of you, like, know what I'm talking about? Like, when I'm talking about this trailer. Like, if you've never seen it, you can YouTube it. It's still floating around on YouTube. But this game was announced with this trailer, and then you literally, like, it was never shown again. No gameplay was ever shown, and this trailer never popped back up. Like, or rather, a different trailer never popped back up. At least I don't think it did. Again, it could be wrong, because I can't catch all the gaming. I like to think I catch a fair amount of it. And there's, especially with crap I look for. And that's like when I think Ghost Game. Yeah, for real though. Like a game literally that came back from the dead. Like, that's no better description. For Dead Island 2. Like, absolutely not a better description for it. Nuts, man. It's actually crazy. And so, I'm bummed about this stuff with Cyberpunk, though. Like, saying it's a June 2019 release date. They were saying it was going to be a 2020 release date, like, several months ago. So, I don't know where the hell somebody got June 2019 from. Like, either somebody's lying in terms of somebody lied when they heard that it was going to be June 2019, and it literally just caught the internet on fire, saying, oh, yeah, it's going to be 2019. And now here's CD Projekt Red coming in with, well, no, guys. The stuff's not going to be ready yet. We're going to have stuff for E3, which is not hands-on playable, by the way. Like, not that I care. I'm not going to be at E3, nor would I have access to play the hands-on. But apparently, it's going to be kind of like show and tell, but like nobody's going to be actually hands-on playing it. Like, there apparently will be some closed-door demo stuff to get people still interested. Which how the fuck do you get that job? That's cool. Like, how the fuck do you get that job? Like, get behind the closed-door demos and shit. But it's just crazy. But yeah, doing my Cyberpunk 2077 rep. Like, there's going to be no hands-on. Like, nobody's going to get actual hands-on in the public eye. Like, there'll be some closed-door demos, but it's just like they're going to do some show and tell again. Apparently some new stuff. Like some legitimate gameplay, as I called it, which is what I thought they kind of showed last time, but whatever. And so we'll just we'll see how it goes.
All right.
And who knows? Maybe somebody's lying. Maybe it's going to be like, hey guys, and June 2019 is the accurate release date. That would be great. That would legitimately be awesome, but I doubt it. I doubt it very much. But my Cyberpunk 2077 rant is over. That's all I got. What do you got?
Fuck, you put me on the spot. They're making a Star Wars: The Old Republic
Movie?
Knights of the Old Republic movie, yeah.
I already
know.
made Torn's life miserable with this. Like, we don't need to rehash it. Okay, I want to talk about some Overwatch League news, because we haven't done Overwatch League yet, and it's been over an hour into our stream.
Yes!
Like, can we talk about the winners of the freaking last stage playoffs?
Yeah.
Like, I about had a stroke.
Even the mighty fall.
Like, wow. I want to pull up the actual stuff here. But, oh boy. So, in the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, we had, in total, we had the Shanghai Dragons. We had the Shanghai Dragons.
Hilarious.
We had the San Francisco Shock. We had the Hangzhou Spark. We had the London Spitfire, New York Excelsior, Los Angeles Gladiators, Vancouver Titans, and Dallas Fuel. In the first set of matches, Shanghai versus San Francisco Shock. Shock 3-1 them. No real surprise there. Hangzhou Spark against London Spitfire. This one, a little bit of a surprise. However, London's been having trouble holding it together anyway, so they got 3-1 by Hangzhou. New York Excel, 3-0 to Los Angeles Gladiators. Kind of disappointing for me because I was hoping that the Gladiators would make them bleed a little bit, but whatever. So 3-0'd by Excel. Dallas Fuel got 3-0'd by Vancouver Titans. Once again, not a surprise here. I know, dude. Like, once I saw the matchup, I was like, well, good job, boys. You made it to the playoffs. I am genuinely proud of the Fuel making it to the playoffs.
I'm more proud of Atlanta. Because they did it. They did it twice.
They did do it twice. They beat New York Excel twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It was just so fucking good.
It was great. Oh my god, it was.
But
beautiful.
They lost to a bunch of the worst people.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna defend them.
No, you can't.
They got fucking dumpstered.
Absolutely.
By literal dumpster fires of teams.
You
Oh
can't.
my god. It makes me so sad because they were so good.
Yeah. Whatever. Now, into the stage playoffs, even further still. We're going down the line. Hangzhou Spark, fresh off their victory, London Spitfire, go up against San Francisco Shock. 4-0. New York Excel versus Vancouver Titans.
Which people argued would have been a normal like stage finals like match if it wasn't for the fact that Excel went in as number 5.
Yep.
Oh god, I just love it.
I love it so much. I abhor New York Excel and the fact that they have eaten so much humble pie this year.
And then they just get fucking wrecked.
Love it.
By
4-1.
Vancouver Titans.
Yep.
Oh,
4-1 them. Love it.
Felt so good to see that.
Love it, love it, love it. But the surprise, I think, of the freaking century comes in the final match of the stage. San Francisco Shock, Vancouver Titans. Shock takes it 4-2. Like,
in their rematch of the stage 1 playoffs.
Uh-huh.
Oh god.
Like, just wow. Same two teams make it to finals again. Other team wins.
Mm-hmm.
So now this effectively means nobody is going to be talking about the Titans Excel matches anymore. It's literally going to be Shock and Titans rivalry now.
Yeah. And it's funny. Like that is so hilarious to me, giving like the actual, because like San Francisco Shock is 11-3, but they're on top.
Dude, it's.
I just feel so sorry for Torn.
It's not. Oh my god. Current standing.
You're actually in 6th, which is great.
Dude, again, Fuel, different team from last year. The fact that they have consistently been competitive for the top 8 spot, the fact that they made it into playoffs, the different season, they're showing return on the investment that's been put into them. Jane's been doing a great job coaching. A great team. Yeah, iron more kinks out, and not only that, but just general, just gameplay. Just Jane flat out said it, for the Titans match. That it was like, hey, some teams are just better. Titans is one of those teams. Dallas can get there. I have no doubt in my mind Dallas can get there. They've got a stacked DPS roster, so I'm hoping to see freaking Taimu come out of retirement in stage 3. Or Harry Hook. Both would be great. But I'll take one or the other at this point.
I'm just glad we are finally off of the DeFran hype train.
It was such a fun train, though.
It was a fun, very short train.
It was such a fun
but it was very fun to watch. But I just hated that,
the train also got derailed.
No, I just hated that if Atlanta was going to win, it was because DeFran was popping off. If they were going to lose, it's because DeFran was eating shit. You knew what was going to happen after the first match. Because, either DeFran came to play
Okay,
and they were going to win?
there is a first map exception to this rule. You know exactly the one I'm talking about.
Which one?
The one where the Fran pulls out Torb.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's a fair comparison. Because, let's be real, nobody's expecting that. Like, I literally think it's just one of these things. I swear, it had to be just a mindfuck.
I know, but did he pull it out on the first map?
He did.
Did they win from the first map on?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they 3-0'd him that.
Do you remember who it was against?
I'm going to look at it. Florida Mayhem.
They 4-0'd Florida Mayhem.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
So, like I said, either
I thought they
won everything or they lost everything, and it was dependent wholly on if DeFran was there to play.
Which,
in Overwatch, you shouldn't be reliant on one player.
No, you really shouldn't, though. Which is like, I don't think that's fair to say as far as like of Atlanta Reign. In terms of just the other,
way it was.
In terms of the other players on the team,
there are great players on the team, and since stage 2, they've been able to like really shine. Like,
well, it's like, yeah, it's true because stage 1 was the freaking goat farm, and DeFran on Zarya feels such a weird sentence.
Just because she was the most DPS tank, that's just how it was.
Great.
And their other DPS, like he was on the most like damaging healer. Like, it is what it is, but like at the same time, yeah, and you didn't really see that until stage 2 when they were popping off. Like Urster is in fucking insane. He got an ace on a tracer randomly.
Dude, yeah, Urster's a monster. Freaking Corey's a monster from the Washington Justice. God, you got people that are just raring to be cut loose. And stage 2 finally gave him the opportunity. A lot of people.
I'm glad that Ghost got busted for the most part.
You know,
like, they still bring it out because it's what they know, it's what they've been training for the longest time. But
well, not only that, but you got to think, situationally, like goats can still be viable, and I'm cool with it situationally. I'm very cool with that. But
I hate there are certain
fucking
situations that I hate. Yeah, like watching Washington Justice versus Atlanta Reign pissed me off because they were like, we shouldn't have won that. I'll be frank, we should not have won that game, and the only reason we did was because someone on the Justice side were like, "Hey, we should go back to goats after we just capped this point doing some crazy shit."
Right.
And they would all switch back, and then they would get stonewalled. I'm like, why the fuck?
Yeah. Say that. But it just showed, though, that, I mean, and then, of course, in the goats meta, so yeah, it was, even goats was meta, it was still proven that it could be.
Yeah,
that's not goats, because Chengdu proved it. Chengdu, if nothing else, made you think about it. Like, might not have been they're not the most consistently, but
yeah,
like the fact that in stage 1, this was a team that second guessed you, that made you second guess playing goats, and their current standings is they're ranked 9 right now. So, win in my book, just for the principle of the matter, for that. Yeah. I'm glad we talked about the Overwatch League. That was actually, I remember before stream, I'm like, we gotta be sure we talk about freaking Overwatch League. And we just talk about everything else. And God, I was about to tell us, hey, maybe we should just plug and get out of here. But well, we brought that up. We would have voted. I would have.
Yeah.
But, I think this is a good place to end it.
Actually, hold on.
Got one? Got another thing?
There's a game. that is like Twitch just featured. What game is this? It's My Summer Car.
What?
Yeah, they just featured My Summer Car. You know what that is?
Not a clue.
That's an old. That's actually one of the games that Vicar used to play, where you literally build a car from the ground up, like literally nuts, bolts, all that. And it's like hyper realistic. Like you get you can die so many ways in that game. Like one of them is drown man found from sewage well. Like you could go into you can like find your way into a septic tank and you'll die.
Games like that have no appeal to me.
If you're not thinking and you're going to bed while you have a lit cigarette, your house will burn down.
Dragon, why do you always instigate things?
What's you instigating? You should. It is what it is, man. You do. Butt liquor.
Oh, I'm got it down. Back until.
Oh yeah, where the fuck are you going again?
South Carolina.
Oh, fun.
Case is my middle name. Yeah, I believe. If it wasn't, you could change it to it. But he would blink twice. But, Soy, thanks for coming and being player 2 with me.
It was great.
Plug your stuff and let's get out of here.
I play games on Twitch. SoyTortuga. I'm here mainly this week, and then I'll let you know after that.
Yeah. And guys, KaverJ, also on Twitch. Twitter is Kaver_J. Spelling is still the same though. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for the Har Community Podcast.
Question.
Yeah.
Are we logged into the actual channel and like, can we raid someone?
And we're gonna.
Okay.
Guys, if you guys enjoyed it.
Oh shit.
We will see you.
Real quick.
We will try to see you later.
Yeah.
What is it?
A friend of the community is playing Dauntless.
Who is it?
Alligator.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm thinking that's the raid.
Sounds like a plan. See y'all there. Right, chumps, let's do this. Oh, is this still a tradition to talk during the outro?
What? I don't know. Is it?
You fucking.
I mean, the outro's on and we're still talking, so yeah, I guess it's still a thing.
Oh, shit, I'm glad things that like I thought was a great idea is still around.
Yeah, well, it's also could be.
Yeah, good job. ALLIE_GATOR.
It worked.
Hey, good job. We're doing it, guys.